Good afternoon, Muskegon. It's time for Torn in Two. We had some time off for Thanksgiving. We pray that you had a great time off. Today is December the 2nd, 2022. I am your host, Gregory T. Roberts, with my co host, Melvin C. Burns, Pastor Burns, one of the twins, the
Hey,
second. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Just excited about today's guest. We're working on getting her in, and just we there's so much stuff to talk about. Let me
Man,
get this information in. If you want to be a part of this show, you can do it by joining Facebook, us on WVS Facebook or M106. Our site's there. We're also on WVS 103.7 The Beat. For ours, YouTube, you can watch it live that way. So if you miss it and say that you are driving and you want to watch it in person, it re-airs on WVS 103.7 The Beat. Another thing that we want to do, a new thing that we want to do, because next year we want to come out fresh and new, and but we need your help. So we need you to grab a pen real quick. Grab a pen. I'll give you a
man,
second.
got
Okay,
my
there.
pen. All right.
There. Take this email address, WVSLP at gmail.com. Let me repeat that again. WVSLP at gmail.com. Now, what we want you to do there is you put attention torn into and tell us the guest and tell us the things that you want to hear, or if you would like to be a guest and what you would like to talk about, because we are the only ones that do this, and we take pride in trying to provide information to you guys. Get rid of the smoke, blow away the smoke, and break the glass to get to you. Okay? Okay, so now that the housekeeping is done, brother, what's been going on?
Hey, brother, so much. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
You know what? I had a great Thanksgiving. We changed up some stuff last year,
Yeah.
and we get our family together with people that don't have families,
Awesome.
and we get everybody together in a large space, and we had a great time and a great. And I had to thank my daughter Lisa and
Okay.
our soon-to-be husband Eric
Yes.
for what they did in putting that together. So
Awesome.
I didn't get
Awesome.
a chance to thank them about it. So this week, as we were, I,
Okay.
I, I want to get your opinion real quick before we start talking about today's issue.
Okay.
Have you seen the picture of Jerry Jones?
Yes.
What is your thoughts? Okay, let wait a minute. Okay, so let's back up
In case
real.
people haven't seen it.
Let's back up and tell you what's going on.
Okay.
Years and years and years ago, when Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys,
Yes.
was what 14, 15, whatever,
14 years old.
stood in a crowd, okay,
Mm-hmm.
denouncing black people getting into that school for education.
Yes.
Okay. He has not said a word about the picture.
Right.
Okay, if it was 1957, whatever the day was, he hasn't said a word. LeBron James dropped the mic on him yesterday. I don't know when he did it, but
Yes.
if you haven't seen LeBron James drop the mic on the media, blew me away. Your
Yes.
opinion?
1957. He says
Mm-hmm.
14. His comments were, "It was a long time ago. I hardly even think about it." He later says, "I was just there. I was curious." Yeah, those are his defenses.
That is his words.
Um, brother, that's a turbulent time. It's a, yeah. And on that picture, you see this black lady come up the steps of the school. You know how traumatizing that was, how dangerous that was? And you're in the crowd, and the best you can offer to a lady, I don't know if she's still alive, the best you can offer to her and her family is, I was just curious. So we're not talking about ancient history. You know, I was doing this the other day. Ruby Briggs is only 68 years old. She's only 8 years older than me. And so these people very much, I don't know who's acting the picture, but these people and their family still alive. The best you can offer to this traumatic time is, I was curious. Brother, there's things I've done in the 70s in high school that if I see pictures, I'm like, I'm sorry that was a different person, even if I was just there.
Right.
That can't be the best you offer.
No, that is not acceptable.
That so part of that comment I took from something I was reading this morning, but you got to offer up something. I guess everybody said, well, he should condemn racism. Well, yes, he should. Your response can be, well, I make a lot of millionaires as an owner. That's not.
No, he did not say that.
Yes, he did. Yes, that's his
He
response.
makes a lot of
He
millionaires,
makes a lot of millionaires.
but he refuses to denounce the picture and what he did in the past.
Brother, if he did that, it'd be over with. There's a
I
lot of
mean,
it
simple.
was wrong. It was stupid. I regret even being there. Boom. What do you? I'm one of those people. Once somebody says, it was wrong a long time ago. I hope the things I've done since then, have shown who I really am. But maybe the things you've done since then haven't shown you're a different person.
Oh,
But
trust me, there are a lot of pictures out there of me doing wrong.
yeah,
I'm just going to just say it like it is, and
yes.
if I've offended any of you, I'm sorry. I made some mistakes in my life, and so I'm just going to put it out there. Ti is sorry.
Now I hate to draw these comparisons, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But let's just go back through history. If you had just been in the crowd, let's say, look, I just got drafted into the army. I didn't know we were going to be rounded up Jews. I just got drafted.
Mm,
Now they had a whole court that said, no, you're still accountable, even though you were a soldier, because you had a higher obligation to humanity. I'm just
mm.
saying, I'm
Just
just saying
saying.
that was a response. So if I just shut up to watch the atrocity, it's to me, it's not good enough. You got to say something.
If I had a gun to the head of the Viet Cong, getting ready to
But
shoot
hey,
somebody,
I just got drafted over here.
I just got drafted over here.
But going through burning villages, I'm just a soldier. At some point, even if you're accountable for what you did in your past. Now, again, you and I both know we believe in freeing people from their past once they look for forgiveness, look to make amends, look to live differently. But you got to say something. You can't just say, hey, that's a long time ago and people should see me different. No, you have to say something. And that's what I think's missing here. I mean,
Right. Well,
you
I
gotta, you got to be emphatic about, no, this is not who I am. You got to be very emphatic about it.
well, you know what? I think people have to go back and watch what LeBron James said, and
Yes.
he dropped the mic on the press. It was like,
Yeah.
dang.
Why aren't we talking about this?
And yeah, what? And here's the thing: people. I hear this all the time. I don't know about you. It's like, you know what? I wasn't alive then.
Nope.
I wasn't alive 400 years. Why are you guys so angry? Why do you want to be brought up? Well, let me give you an example
Mhm.
of stupidity. Okay, there's a governor that this critical race theory that we've talked about on this show.
Mhm.
What he wants to do in his state, he wants to eliminate. I mean, the latest person that he wants to eliminate out of history books is Martin Luther King.
Wow.
He wants to eliminate Martin Luther King. Now, people, let me tell you this, and let's get this perfectly straight. History is history. Now, history should be his story or the person that controls the money and the books. If, such example, the man that created the traffic light was a black man, that's history.
Mhm.
Why isn't that in the books? That's not CRT. That's not race theory. That's just history.
Yes,
So
sir.
why is it that now we got to go, anyone that does something historic, we want to get rid of it. In other words, we want to whitewash it.
Yeah, that it's horrible. I mean, you just act like things didn't happen, or do you attribute it to somebody else? But again, it's an absolute untruth. And again, it demeans the person, their family, and their race by you excluding them.
Well, we are waiting for our guest. Hopefully, we can get our guest on. But I'm going to start. Let's start the conversation out. We're talking about the race in Georgia, and our guest, if we can get her, is no stranger to the show as well. She's one of our political analysts. Um, she covers Georgia for us. Her name is Tonya Roberts Ford. We're working on getting her right now to get the pulse of what's happening in Georgia. There's some things that you and I can talk about while we're working on getting her. There have been okay. There have been so many things said about that election coming from the Democrats and the Republicans. So let's make everything clear right now. Okay. Number one, there's a Democrat in the White House, President Joe Biden.
Yes,
The House next year will be controlled by the Republican Party.
yes.
Okay?
Hmm.
The Democrats will control the Senate, worse 50-50 with the vice president with a tie.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yes,
If they win this election, they have 51 votes. In other words, it's going to be a lame duck session unless people do stuff and get some work done. Now, so far, the Republican Party has said in the House that they are going to have hearings on the January 6th commission. They're gonna Mar-Lago, why what FBI went down to former President Trump and raided there. They're going to go after Biden, son Hunter. They're going to do a lot of stuff. In other words, they're going to go backwards, and they have not said anything about what they plan to do to make this country better in the future. Now, don't I can say this, and the views that I'm getting ready to say is from me. Okay, all right. Don't you dare look at my face and say this is a black man and he's voting Democratic and just and all that kind of stuff. Don't you dare put that on me or put that on Pastor Burns, because we vote for the people that do the job. Am I right, sir?
you are 100% correct.
But don't you label me like that. Don't you label me like that. What we're trying to tell you is, because what they're saying in Georgia is they're saying two things. Is that what they're really concerned about is if it's a 50-50 tie, is seats where they will be seated in Congress and assignments.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
Uh,
that's
that's that's it. Nothing else can be done. That I mean, nothing else can be done. And your opinion.
get ready for at least 2 years of a lot of nothing. Again, a lot of investigations. It's going to be interesting because best guess is the economy might start maybe starting to turn around a little bit, real slow. But no talk about the economy, no talk about prices or inflation. So it'll be interesting to see what this next Congress turns into. Or again, we're uh, we're not even into the presidential election 2024, so we could have 2 years of nothing. Like you say, it could be a started whole lame duck presidency. I don't know. It's going to be it'd be interesting to see if anything gets out of Congress. It's funny because they've worked really hard between November elections and December. They've been working really hard. They've done more than they've done the whole year. So it'll be, the presidential election season has already started. So we'll see a lot of positioning for that. One of the things will be how distracted will this Congress be with the whole presidential election starting, because they got a big distraction going on.
We're gonna take a break.
Okay, I'm
Eh,
back with you, brother.
Okay,
Okay,
we,
sorry.
we're gonna take a break,
Okay.
and we're gonna see if we can fix some things. We'll be back in a couple minutes on 103.7 The Beat. This is Torn in Two.
The second annual I Am Her Feminine Hygiene Drive, supporting young ladies from Ghana, Africa, in need of everyday essentials and feminine hygiene products, was a great success. Thanks to the generosity of our community and organizations like Period.org, Muskegon Heights Public School Academy, Confident Cosmetics, Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Inc., and everyone who made a contribution. Hundreds of young ladies and village members received essential items. The community made a lasting impact with more than 10,000 sanitation items donated. If you would like to help, donations can be made year-round by dropping off items in the donation shed at the Mays and Wright Media Center, located at 1877 Peck Street, or making a contribution to paypal.me/1037thebeat. For more information, call 231-727-5007. Thank you for supporting I Am Her Foundation.
We're back.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically black and proud media, from podcasts to independent black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.
And we're back on Tonya 2, 103.7 The Beat and M106. And excuse me for that. That was my fault.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay, here we go. All right. So we lost sound for a little bit.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great attention. I just great pride to introduce this person. She covers elections with us. She's no stranger to the radio station, but she's my little sister, and she loves politics. Put your hands together for Tonya Roberts Ford. Hey, sis, how you doing?
Please forgive my computer here, my camera, because it's not very clear here. I'm trying to.
That's all right.
So hopefully we can do this. But hello, everybody. Hey, big brother, how you doing?
Good, little sis. How you doing?
I'm good. We're gonna try to work on this computer, this lighting thing.
It's good. You're good. You're good. You're perfect. Okay, so let's get into it. The first part of this, we're going to take 10 minutes to talk about the election in Georgia, and please try to keep your voice down because I know you're really excited about this, Tonya.
Okay.
What is the temperature like in Georgia, and what are the people Because you said you were going to move.
Yes, I have moved actually. I moved to a different county actually. I was in DeKalb County and now I'm in Henry County, which is depends on where you are because Henry is a pretty big county. And it's the county I'm in is predominantly Republican. They actually put a sign on my door, vote for Herschel Walker, and yeah, they probably won't do that again. But anywho, but no, the temperature actually it's been a great turnout, even in Henry County. Actually, it really has. The temperature right now is about in the 60s. You know, it's been kind of cold in the morning, but it's about 60. Supposed to get up to like 68 or something today.
Now, they over 1 million plus people have voted in Georgia. CNN says right now that Warnock has a slim lead. Are you surprised by that? And you don't know because the thing is the early vote is showing that African Americans vote is up by like 33% coming up. And but it's also saying look out for election day because that is the day that Republicans vote.
Well, I know we went and voted yesterday, early voting, and I know I definitely put it out, to everybody to make sure they get out and vote. So definitely I'll turn it out in numbers to get out and vote. Am I surprised in Georgia? Nothing surprises me nowadays.
Tell us a little about the voting climate in Georgia. Tell us, us Michiganders, about you Georgia people.
It's the South. It's the South, and so it's different. Michigan is different from the South, and so and what I say about that, it's like when you get into states like Georgia, Texas, the Mississippi, these states, it's pretty much it doesn't matter about the candidate if their qualifications. It doesn't matter if they're equipped for the job. It's strictly we want to win. So I don't care who we have in front of us. We just want to win. So therefore, I'm just going to vote for this person. And so does it surprise me that I was surprised that we even hear that we have a runoff. But then after that, it's like nothing surprises me right now at this point. It really doesn't.
So
people are they're just gonna, they just want to win.
So what they're saying is right now is if you're Republican, you're voting Herschel regardless. If you're a Democrat, you're voting for Warnock. That's what's going on.
Yeah,
they said that the independents
there are some Republicans or independents that are voting Democratic because of the simple fact that they don't want somebody that's going to represent Georgia. They want the best person that's going to represent Georgia, pretty much. That should be how it should be for anything. And me personally, I just don't think between the two candidates that Herschel Walker is the person that's going to represent Georgia, represent my, the things that's important to me. So he's just not.
Was it the governor or the lieutenant governor? No, the lieutenant governor that said that he would not vote for Herschel Walker or either candidates.
The lieutenant governor, because the governor came out and he's supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that's going to make a difference? Because it did make a difference in the regular election but he didn't say anything. But now he's coming and supporting Mr. Walker.
All I can say is I hope not. That's all I can say is I mean because it's Herschel Walker, he doesn't even live in Georgia. That's all. He doesn't even live here. Okay, he has rental property here. He doesn't even live here, and I know that's not a qualification. It says if he wins, then he has to actually move here. But he doesn't even live here. He has rental property here. He's strictly being put up as a prop to really just get the black vote. That's the only reason they using him pretty much. And so that's what I feel. That's what I think. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that we're here. But I just hope that, Warnock end up, winning and going back, because, they'll get something done. They'll get something done.
Let's go to Houston, Texas. Mike Anthony Smith says, Herschel Walker, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Pastor Burns.
I got two questions. Hi, Tonya. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. How you doing?
Good. First question, did you know a werewolf could kill a vampire?
I'm sorry?
My first question is, did you know a werewolf could kill a vampire?
Oh my God. When I saw that, I was like, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know, but I didn't need to know. I don't care. Okay, so that has nothing to do with anything that's going to help the inflation, economy, everything. It's like the stuff that he talks about is just like mind-boggling. It's like,
how was the underground campaign going? I mean, we saw that. I mean, I was telling Greg about that commercial where they showed people with the headphones listening to Walker, and
yes.
But what is the underground campaigning like? The TV ads for Walker. What is he selling to Georgians?
It is. They are flooding the TV, flooding the phones, flooding. You have against Warnock, they talking about he's just a rubber stamp for Biden, pretty much. He's just the Biden agenda. Okay. But then it's so many ads against Herschel Walker, and they're repeating these. They don't have to say nothing. They're just repeating everything he just does. It's just like, hey, here it is for yourself. He's not talking about anything of content or anything that's, talking about anything that's going to help Georgians. So it's, I didn't know about the cow and the bull, and the bull had 3 women pregnant, and for 3. What does that have to do with anything?
I think that's the intro to his autobiography, I believe. I'm not sure. So it's pretty obvious, and I was reading this morning, it's pretty obvious that Warnock is outspending Walker from the advertising you're seeing.
I believe so, absolutely, because it is absolutely, they're spending a lot of money on advertising, to say the least.
Is it a general feeling everybody will be glad when Tuesday's over with?
I will be so happy when Tuesday is over with, because I'm so tired of the calls. I'm tired of the emails. I'm tired of the text messages. I'm tired of the negative ads. I'm tired of all of it. I truly am. And it's a shame that we even have to be here. It shouldn't even be a question about who you're voting for. It's like, it's all about, we just want to win. It's like, I don't care who you put in office. I don't care. I just want to win. This man is not equipped at all in any form, fashion, or way to be in the Senate. But they don't care. They just don't care. It's just, I'm going to vote for who they told me to vote for.
We have to, we have to understand, get this straight, that this gerrymandering is just killing this country. You get an apartment somewhere. Let's take Walker's case. He lives in Dallas. He lives in Texas. Yeah. He got a little place in Georgia, and he runs in Georgia. Yes, well, the same thing happened in Michigan. Yeah. Yes. And several other places too. And let's go, man. Michael Anthony Smith is on a roll from Houston. I got a text message in Houston about the race. Wow. That's how crazy this race is, and we don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I'm gonna give Pastor Burns the last question, and Tonya, your last opinion, then we want to move on.
I think we've dragged this quite a bit. Real quick, record-breaking early voting between now and Tuesday. Anything we can expect new to happen, or is it just going to be more of what we've seen last month?
No, people are getting out to vote. Young children. My bonus daughter, she just turned 18 this year. It's like she's in school. It's like college now. It's like they are really organizing a lot. The young people, especially, are organizing and getting out to vote, and they understand the importance even of this runoff. Because usually, midterm elections, people didn't really, get out and vote that often, but they do understand the importance of it. So they're all excited about it. So I think Warnock's gonna pull it off. I'm just gonna put that out there. They say put it out there and it's gonna happen. So there you go. That's what I'm doing.
Well, right now, like I said, CNN reporting, and not only CNN, Fox and everybody else is reporting like a 52-48% lead for Warnock. So we'll see what happened. We won't be in the studio, but we will give you the election results as soon as it's called Tuesday. Now, let's get to the second part of this, which Tonya and I got to talking about us being kids, growing up in families. I want to talk to you, and I want Tonya to talk about something that's dear in her heart about blended families. And Tonya, take it away.
All right, yeah, that's something that's really important. My husband and I, we've been married. It'll be 6 years, but we've been together for 10 years. So I came into his life when I met his children, 8, 14, and 17. Okay, so you're coming into somebody's life who has 3 children. I'm a person who never had biological children, so it was a thing coming in, where you're now, I call it a bonus parent. Okay, and I have been a bonus. I mean, Greg, we've had step parents. We had 2 from my father and 1 from my mother. So my thing is, I just take it from, I know the things that I liked when what my step parents did, and I know the things I did not like. So therefore, that's how I've been able to operate in helping to raise our children, because I don't call them step. They're not step children. They are my kids. I call them my bonus kids because I don't make any difference between any of them.
Right.
Even though he has 1 biological, but he has 2 of his that were step kids. However, when I met him, he said he has 3 kids. He got 3 kids. So I treat them absolutely all the same. But I also know that I had to stay in my lane, and I have to stay in my lane. And that's a big problem with sometimes when people come in as a parent. It's like, they have a mother, they have a father. All right. So therefore, there's a role you play. And like I tell them, I'm just another person to love you. I'm another person that's in your life to love you. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to go to the mat for you. But I know that when it comes to parenting, that is on his mother and his father. Okay. And so now being there as far as talking to the kids and, especially the youngest one, of course, I'm very open and honest to her and all of them about anything. But like I always used to tell them, hey, you can talk to me about things, but if it's something, that I think that I need to tell your mother or father about, then that's something I'm gonna have to do. But kids they're going through things. It's a different time than when we grew up. So they're going to be curious about certain things. So those things, you talk to them about. I always encourage her to talk to her mom and father about it. But there's some things, kids, they don't want to talk to their parents about.
Right.
They
Exactly.
don't. They,
Okay.
People like to think that they kids talk to them about everything. And some parents do. Some of their children do. But, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's
So
go back to the board. Micah Anthony Smith from Houston, Texas says it may take 2 generations, but change will come because of blended families. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. And so right now, we, like I said, we just bought a house, and so we're in a different county in here. And I tell you, the girls came over. They actually cooked for Thanksgiving. They stayed here 3 days with us, and they made my Thanksgiving so special for the first year. And that's because I built that relationship with them over the years. It's not something that you'll come into and have that automatic relationships, because please understand, the kids are not going to like you coming in. And it's not you personally. It's always, children always have that desire for their parents to be together.
You
So
preaching good now. Now
Yeah.
now stop. Now you preaching good. Let's pass the plate. Repeat what you just said, because a lot of people don't know how to stay in their lane and don't know the basic rule of what you just said.
okay, which part of it? But let me go ahead.
I'm sure he's talking about the part where kids always have this dream of their parents being
They
together.
always
Yes.
want their parents to stay together, and I was very candid and open with the kids and asking them and asked them that question. I'm like, it's okay, because I'll ask them, do you want you wish your parents were together, and they would be like, yes. I didn't take that personally, because it's like, what, I understand that. I don't take it personally. I know, of course, you want your parents to be together, but you do know your parents both love you. Okay, they love you. They're going to be there for you, but it just didn't work out for them. So I'm just another person, that bonus person that's going to be here for you and to love you and to help you in any and every way that I can. But I know my lane. I know my role. Like I said, they have a mother, they have a father. They are very good at co-parenting. And I have to stay out of those things. I didn't, at first it was a little difficult because you want stuff kind of your way, or you want to be involved in stuff. But that person, your spouse you're married to, it is pivotal that you have very open communication with them, and that the other parent, it doesn't have to be an adversarial relationship. It doesn't. And people, we have a really good relationship. It's like, baby showers, birthdays, all that type of stuff. I'm invited just like everybody else. I get the t-shirts. It's like we talk and all that kind of stuff, because we built that relationship. That is their mother.
Hello.
That's point blank, period. So therefore, it's like, you stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Now, things that go on in our household, the rules that we make, that's why it's important for you in that communication between you and your spouse. But all of us together are on the same page, because it's all about the kids. It's all about them. Take your feelings out of the way. Put them in your pocket, okay? Put your feelings in your pocket. All right? It's not about you. It's about raising the kids to make sure that they're emotionally emotionally whole, that they feel secure, because that's what they want. They need that security, and make sure that they know that you love them and care about them. And so it took some years for us to build that relationship. So it's not something that you're going to step into. Oh yes, I'm your mother or stepfather, and you're going to do what I have to say, do what I say, and that kind of stuff. You're going to get so much pushback and resentment. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Yeah. And I'll tell you, especially with girls, it's nothing to test your inner gangsters like a teenage girl's mouth. Okay, I mean really. but they're very respectful. They always have been very respectful, because all of us work together to make sure, like I said, that the kids are going to be okay. But like I said, when it comes to parenting and then making decisions, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Pastor Burns.
Yeah, I think that staying in your lane is difficult, because it's humbling. But I had a question for you. Do you think it's more difficult with the older children or younger children?
Much more difficult with older children. Got a teenager, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. So it's kind of easier when you come into their life when they're younger, because then, you can kind of rear or have a little bit more leeway, not leeway, but they're younger. But when they get to a certain age, it doesn't matter if you're a bonus parent or not. If you're their real parents or whatever, they're gonna have problems and challenges with them. So just think of you coming in as a step parent or a bonus parent, what challenges you're gonna have. They really ain't trying to listen to you. So therefore, I think it's easier if you get them while they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't pick what you say. Oh, please let me get a child. Let me get them when they're like 3 years old. Kind of thing. No, you
Yeah.
can't do that. So you have to kind of roll with what happens and what you
Let's
think.
go back to the board. I needed to make this clear too. Mike Anthony Smith from Houston, Texas. My bad. Tonya is from Ski Town. You are from Muskegon.
That's right. Ski Town. Absolutely. I'm definitely from Muskegon, Michigan, born and raised. I just moved. I moved from Michigan back in 2000. So not straight to Georgia, of course. I went to Indianapolis and then Virginia, and then but I've been in Georgia now for 17, 18 years. Yeah, about 18 years. So.
Now, I want you to talk to the parents that go, you live under my roof and you going to do what I say, and I don't care about that other person.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. It hasn't been, easy with some things. And sometimes I tell you, I really just wanted to choke. You want to just choke the child. But one thing you cannot do, you cannot touch nobody else's child, and you can't say nothing about nobody else's child. So learn that as well, okay? So you better be very careful and tread lightly with that. The thing is, you talk to, like I said, it's key about your spouse. It's key that because y'all on the same plane, y'all on the same, wavelength about how we're going to run our household. So therefore, it has to come from that my husband and myself, we're here and this is how we run the house here. But there's so much in alignment with how they run the house over at his mother and her husband's house. So it's streamlined. You can't do something there and think you're gonna come over here and do it, okay? Because no, that's not gonna happen. But we may do things differently here. But my husband and I are on the same page where hey, he's gonna make sure I'm gonna talk to you about it. And at some point, it was a couple of times where it's like, you know what? If you don't want me, for instance, her bedroom, okay? Sometimes it's like. It looked like a crime scene, okay, in the room. I don't like the house looking like that. But you know what? It's some things you just have to say, you know what, just let go. That's not important. Just let it go, because it's like it was driving me crazy, and I'm like, if you want to live in that filth, go ahead, okay? You go ahead and do that. But because I was on her so much about, clean up your room, clean up your room, clean up your room. You don't, but if he wasn't, getting on her about it pretty much. So it's like, you know what? It's a certain thing I'm just gonna let go.
You better than me, because I would have said I'm gonna dial a 9 and a 1 and dare you to dial another 1.
Hey.
You better than me on that one. Hold on, let's go to the board. Benita, how you doing? She says a lot depends on the natural mother and her emotions. A decision needs to be made for all to look for the best needs for the kids and work collectively together. Thank you, Benita. Tonya.
Absolutely. You know what? And the mother, I told you, she told me, because, we had a couple maybe run-ins, not really run-ins, but disagreements about some things. But like I said, I had to understand my role. But the thing was, like I said, it does not have to be an adversarial relationship. And when she said, she said, I can't even hate you if I wanted to, because the girls like you. I said, why would you want to hate me? Why do you want to dislike me? You don't even know me. She said, but the kids like you. I can't even like you if I wanted to. But that's such the mentality of some people, that I'm supposed to not like this person, that's coming in. And it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that at all. I'm like, these are your children. Okay, you're the mother. I know my role where I'm supposed to be at. That doesn't mean you're going to come in now and disrespect me now. That's a difference now. Let's get that clear, all right? We don't want no disrespect going on. However, that was never the case.
Let's go back to the board.
We've been able to build at least a good relationship.
Let's go back to the board. Benita says, you become the bad guy when you act like me. And then she said, what you said speaks volumes. Pastor Burns, next question to you.
But so much of this range true from my life experiences, but a couple of thoughts. Now, without being too personal, the children's mother, was she in a relationship at some point? Because I found it was less chaos, as I said, when somebody else was catching all that smoke instead of me. But I just found all the stuff with the kids worked better when she was in a relationship with somebody. But was that a factor in the relationship with the kids, that she was involved with somebody else?
Okay.
And feel free to not answer.
Okay, yeah, she was in a couple of relationships.
Mhm.
Okay, at certain times or whatever, and so that's another thing I have to learn to watch my mouth with that type of stuff too, because it's like, you're raising daughters and you got relationships. She's married now. Okay, so good.
Because
I'm glad for that.
all those things are adjustments. Whatever we do as parents, the kids got to keep adjusting to. When if you're still in chaos with your ex, and then you're trying to bring somebody else into your family chaos, it just it makes everything worse.
Benita says truth. Y'all speaking truth.
Yeah. It's they like I said, co-parent very well. So therefore, it's like whether she had somebody or not, they do a really good job at co-parenting, and so it's like I am that support system. I'm there to support him. I love them, and so therefore, like I said, you just have to really stay in your lane, and that's a hard thing for parents to do, especially if people have children, because they always want to put their 2 cents in, and well, you're raising your kids this way, and I raised mine that way. I don't even know what that feels like. I don't, because I never had children biologically, so I can't even speak on that. I just know it's all about the kids, and it's all about making sure that they are emotionally and that they feel secure and that they're safe, and they know that I love them. And
Okay, now, Tonya, growing up in the same household, growing up with the same parents, we know the good, but tell us one bad move that you should not do, and we've lived a couple of them. One bad move that you should do.
Should not do is, like I said, the first thing is, if that man raised the children, whether they're biologically his or not, if he raised the children, and like I said, when I met him, he said he had 3 kids, you got 3 kids. Don't make difference between the children. Don't do that. Don't absolutely do not do that.
That's good.
Greg, that was an experience that we had with one of the step parents. Don't do that.
Okay.
One.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Oh, yeah. You're right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. That's true. One, I don't claim. I don't even claim. I don't even claim that. No.
You just
No, but I was respectful for the simple fact, because that is who my father chose. Okay, so I'm going to be respectful. That's because who he chose. However, when they got the divorce, and when our dad was sick, and it's like a lot can come on how somebody's treated, and then that type of stuff, and then it's like at that point it's like, y'all ain't married no more. I'm about to let you have it. So I'm about to let you have it for the simple fact. No. But while they were married, of course, I'm definitely, we were brought up to respect our elders. And so don't make differences in between the children, and just be there to just love them, like I say, and realize that they do have their own mother and father. Now, it's a difference. My husband is so active in his kid's life. I guess it's probably be different if the father or the other parent is not there. That's the difference. You may have to play more of a role if they're not there. So, but he just happens to be very active in their life. But he came into a relationship where he was a bonus parent, a step parent. So therefore he knows how I felt, because he came into a situation like that. So, but he raised them. So therefore, they're all his children. So it's, and one parent was in their life and one parent was not. So it's like you have to play more of an active role if that other parent is not there.
Mm-hmm.
But what that role is still is that communication that they have to have.
That's good.
Between
That's good.
the parents.
Pastor Burns.
No, so much good stuff, Tonya, you're saying there. A lot of women would be upset with you.
I know.
And
I don't care.
And you're not. I mean, you're not a timid person at all.
No,
but when you say, when you almost say, I have to take a step.
She can't spell tended.
When you say I have to take a step back, and let the parents do it, that's counter to, like you say, it's my house, and when they hear, they do what I say.
And I'm saying that's where it's so important about you and your spouse be on the same page about how we're going to run our household. So therefore, it's like, okay, yeah, you can come over when they're here. It's like we're on the same page about how we're running our house, but it just so happened that we're all on the same page with how they run their house over there too. So that's why it's so important to try to have some type of relationship with that parent. Nobody said y'all have to be best buds and y'all going out and having, cocktails together or tea or whatever it is and all that type of thing. No, but you do have to have some type of relationship because you're coming into their life. You're coming into somebody else's life. That's their children. That's their mother. She's the mother. Okay. So therefore you got to respect that. You got to respect that. Or they're the father. You got to respect that. But to come in and just be like, I'm just gonna take over, and this is my house, and you're gonna do it this way, and if not, if I ain't happy, ain't nobody gonna be happy. Good luck with that.
Ain't nobody gonna be happy.
Tonya, you mentioned one thing that if that other parent is not active, how important is for you to be active? I know in my life with my kids, I call them kids, or a bonus if you want to say that, or picked up through ministry or pick up through sports I coached or whatever. I picked up several kids. How important it is to be active in their lives.
It is so vital to be active and important to be active in kids' life because if they don't have that security and get that stability from home, then guess what? They're going to go try to find it out in the streets. And they're going to try to find it from somewhere else. So and I'll share this. Sometimes, parents, and this is why I say you have to kind of stay in your lane. The mother wanted, especially the youngest daughter, she was still telling her at 12, 13 years old, if you kiss a boy, you're going to get pregnant. Okay, so the girl is coming to me talking about, she still calls me Miss Tonya. I'm like, you can call me Tonya. She was like, I just can't do it. It's Miss Tonya. She said, no, she's like, no, I know that ain't true. So it's so it's like, so you want to have age appropriate conversations, but I'm always telling them you need to talk to your mom and dad about this. But you still want to talk to them and be like, they like, I know that ain't true, but I'm just gonna let her believe that I'm going, I'm just gonna let her think, okay, mom, okay. But you want to have some conversation. We've had some really, especially the youngest one, his biological daughter, the youngest, because she was 8, she was the youngest. We really had some really deep conversations, like I said, but it took time for us to get to that relationship. But I always encourage her, look, you need to talk to your mom about these things. You need to, she's like, but my mom's still telling me, if I kiss somebody, I get it. Come on now, I know that ain't true. So it's age appropriate. Her father, dad's little girls, they don't even want to hear nothing about it. She 18 and in college, got a boyfriend, everything. He still don't want to. He still
a lot of denial. We stay in denial for
y'all stay in denial about stuff, So it's like I'm on, but there's certain things. There's a couple incidents that happen throughout their life that they actually came and told me about and didn't go tell their parents. And that was one of those times where I said, remember when I told y'all, if it's something that I have to go tell your parents about, that I'm gonna have to do that. This is one of those times, you know? And so, and it's like, you know what? And I'll go right there with you and I'm holding your hand with you to tell them. And I did.
That's good.
And so, and that's that being that extra support, and to let them know I love you and I'm here from you, but this is one of them things that I gotta stay in my lane. I gotta let your parents know this. Yeah. And so, and you just be there for them and to do that.
I think that's a good example of you being a bonus in those situations. Yeah. But I had a question for you, Tonya. Maybe let's say for the youngest child, what was the moment when you felt like they really love me, they really accept me? Can you remember that kind of when you started really feeling like she really accepts me?
When she started really like opening up and having conversations with me, because at first, you know, when they come in, it's just like, and especially kids nowadays, you can be talking to them and they be like,
on that phone.
I heard you.
And I had to really step back, because sometimes it really, you know, ticked me off. But I would sometimes, if I knew I was really angry about something, I wouldn't say something at the time. I would sleep on it. And then I would come back and say, you know, the next day, say, you know what, can I talk to you for a minute? You know, when I'm talking to you and you're on the phone like that, I said, it really, to me, is kind of disrespectful, because I'm talking to you, I'm trying to talk to you. And she said, but I'm listening to you. I said, yeah, but I feel I don't have your undivided attention. I said, when you come talk to me about something, am I doing something and I'm not like eye to eye with you, or you know, I'm giving you my undivided attention? And she said, yeah, you do. I said, so how do you think I feel when you're on the phone and I'm trying to talk to you about something? I said, you know, it's kind of disrespectful, and I feel I don't have your undivided attention. And so I phrased it in that way, and I said, and it kind of makes me feel a certain kind of way. And so she's like, well, I didn't mean that, and I'm sorry. And she apologized to her. And so then after that, it's like when I want to talk to her about it, she'll put the phone down. So I could have at that time been like, put that phone down, I'm talking to you, blah, 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 blah. And she that's going in one ear and out the other. Trust me, they're not hearing that. But it's kind of, you have to realize, yeah, you just automatically think they gotta respect you because you're the adult and you're coming in, and they just automatically gotta respect you. But you don't have to kind of give them a little time and give them space and give them a little respect too, so that they'll earn respect. Is earned.
Last question from Medina. Says, I think being the truthful person you are helps the child to trust you and know that you are open and there for them.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And then she said they need to have someone as a go-to.
That is so true. That is so true. And it's like, to me, especially the youngest one, it's like I talk to her, I encourage them all to dream big. I encourage them to, and her mom and I, we kind of differ in that way, because it's like, she don't like for me to tell them, you can do anything you want in this life. You don't have to just stick here in this little role or this, you want to be a nurse? Okay, why not be a doctor? Okay, nothing wrong with being a nurse, but why don't you want to be a doctor? I encourage them to dream bigger, and so her mom kind of got upset with me. Well, you're giving them false expectations and all that kind of stuff. No, just because you never did it doesn't mean they can't do it.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was one of them more times you kind of got, But I had to kind of, let me, stay in my lane. But I am that go-to, because just when they were here for Thanksgiving. They were like, that's why we like talking to you about business and stuff, because mom doesn't get it.
Right.
So it's that, not that I'm going against their mom, I'm just another person to give them a different perspective in life.
Sure.
about things.
All right. Hey, it's 3:00. That's the end of the show. Tonya Roberts Ford, sister, I love you.
I love you too. Brother.
We will be back next week for, hey, guess what? 59, the birthday show next week.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what we're going to plan, Pastor Burns,
We have to do
but
something
we're going to
special.
do something next week. I was thinking about maybe having all the family on and just open up.
Greg, will you be 59?
I will be 59 next week. So listen, watch the show next week. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm sure we're going to get some phone calls. Listen, take care. Go sow a seed in somebody's life. God bless you. Love you guys.
All right. Take care. Good seeing you, Tony.
Bye-bye.